There are some common myths about how being unfaithful or committing adultery might affect asset division in a divorce. In some cases, the fact that one party was unfaithful could potentially affect the division of assets in a divorce case. It's not a guarantee. And even in that case, usually what would happen would be the court would look at not just the fact that a spouse cheated, but they look at the fact that while the spouse was cheating, did that spouse spend a lot of money on their paramour that should be part of the community estate and things like that. That's something a judge would consider, not just the fact that a spouse was unfaithful. So there are also some myths about how adultery might affect child custody in a case. The courts generally are not going to look at just the fact that someone cheated when deciding how to award custody in a case. What the courts are going to look at in all custody cases is what's in the best interest of the children. So if somehow the adultery directly affected the children, for example, if the paramour was around the children and doing inappropriate things, maybe using some sort of substances around the children, that's when the court is going to take into account that adultery. Otherwise, the courts are really just going to look at what's in the best interest of the children, not whether a spouse was unfaithful during the marriage. A lot of people also ask whether adultery would affect spousal maintenance in Texas. The real answer is that the fact that one spouse was unfaithful will not affect the court's ability to make any sort of orders for spousal maintenance. It would not affect any sort of amount. You would have to look at the other factors the court looks at for spousal maintenance. One common question that a lot of people ask is, does adultery affect child support? The short answer is no. In Texas, child support is figured out based on a series of factors about what's in the best interest of the children. And then if the judge does order child support, they're going to figure out the amount based on the guideline support amounts that are in the Texas Family Code and use that math to figure out the amount. The courts are not going to look at the actions of the parent and deciding if the amount of child support and if child support is ordered in a case. These are just some of the myths that exist out there about cheating and divorce. If you have any questions, we're happy to talk to you. Please call us.